Hi, I'm Callan Potter, and you are watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Hi everyone, it's Chloe with the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am so happy to be joined by Callan Potter. How's it going?
It's so great. It's going really well, aside from the pretty dismal weather outside at the moment. But so happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you and talk about your work and your role as Hayden Pike in season one of Heated Rivalry. But before we get into the exciting new show, what can you share about your background in the arts and what sparked that passion in you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of grew up around theater a lot. Like both my parents are artists. My mom works as an actor and uh, as a director as well, and my dad works primarily as a director in theater. And so I always kind of grew up going to plays, and sometimes they couldn't find a babysitter. I would be hanging out in the rehearsal room. Um, yeah, and so it was sort of like an ingrained part of my childhood was sort of being in that space. And also like going to a lot of like sort of events and engaging with adults who are also in that space as like a very little kid. And so yeah, I think that was always definitely an inspiration. Just sort of seeing this like big shiny world and these people doing these incredibly fun looking things. I actually, you know what though, I wanted originally when I was like maybe 7 or 6 or something, I wanted to be a stuntman first because I thought it would be so cool to jump out of a plane and get paid for it. Clearly, my 7-year-old brain was, you know what? Actually, no, I think he was onto something. I still think it would be cool to jump out of a plane and get paid for it. But eventually, that sort of pivoted into being an actor who, if given the opportunity, would love to do my own stunts as well. But yeah, I think just like growing up in the theater. I had a music teacher in elementary school who asked me to because I had done the school play, I think in like grade 6. We did, I think it was Grease or something like that. And then I wasn't gonna do it the next year. And then I remember her asking me to do it, and it was like sort of the first time that I think anyone had said like, "Hey, like you're good at this." Even like though I was like in grade 6 or 7 and probably wasn't that good at it, but it was I like still remember her face very clearly, and I think that like little bit of encouragement was was a cool domino, I think, in the process. So big shout out to her. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think yeah, that's sort of I also if you haven't noticed already, I can just yap and yap and yap. I will continue talking until somebody cuts me off. But yes, I think that those are all big influences from my childhood.
Not a problem at all. We love to hear the stories, and it's so nice to, have someone in your corner who kind of recognizes that potential and that promise early on. And something I read before was that your childhood home, it was always filled with books and plays, so you spent a great deal getting lost in those worlds and creating your own. Do you remember your favorite like movies or TV programs as a kid growing up that kind of
Oh,
also inspired you to want to be a part of all of that?
yeah. I really loved okay the animated Robin Hood with the fox voiced by Brian Bedford, one of my all-time favorites. That one is such a great piece of media. I also really love The Iron Giant directed by Brad Bird, one of my favorite childhood films. I think it's such a masterpiece. And then I think I really loved Lilo and Stitch as well. That was a big favorite. Um, and then like books, what did I oh I loved the Warrior Cats series when I was a kid. I read those a bunch. And I honestly read so much more when I was a kid than I feel like I do now as an adult. And like I try and actively read more now. But yeah, I just spent like so much of my time reading books. I mean, when I was like really little, I really loved the like Captain Underpants series when I was like little, and like 'cause I love making comics as well. I love drawing. And so that was like a big inspiration, to stay doodling in class. I probably should have been paying more attention, but um, yeah, like also, Harry Potter, Narnia, what like the, Percy Jackson when I was like a little bit older. Um, I remember there was a really cool book. Oh, The Invention of Hugo Cabret. I remember reading that. That was a really fun one. There's another one called Malice too that I don't know if there's a sequel to it, but it was really cool. It was like partially graphic novel and part novel. Um, and that one was a really great book. My parents also would have me like read little bits of Shakespeare when I was really little as well. And so that I think was ingrained somewhere in my brain.
You have a great memory because you can just name these off the top of your head. But I feel like it's such a, key part when you're a child, like all these different worlds that shape you. And I wanted to talk about your parents, Miles and Shauna, who are accomplished professional artists in film and theater. How have they encouraged your pursuit of the arts over the years, and how have they ultimately inspired you?
Yeah, wow. Okay, well, first of all, I'm so grateful. Mom, Dad, if you're watching, thank you so much. I owe you literally everything my entire life. Thank you. And yes, so they are uh I'm so grateful to have parents in the arts, which is like it's such a gift because I feel like I can talk about like work and we are all on the same page and like understand have that same sort of like shared vocabulary and like also if I have like an audition or something, they're both great readers, and I know that any notes that they have are really, really good notes. So I'm super grateful for that. They've been like so supportive. They also were supportive in the way that when I told them I think that I wanted to be an actor, that they were very supportive, but they were also like, okay, like this is not like sunshine and rainbows though all the time because like it can be really tough and it is sort of like a life of especially um as an actor it's like a lot of rejection and that's just like part of the job like it's 90% of the things that you go out for, you don't end up getting, and that's just like, something you have to wrangle with yourself as a natural part of the career. Um, and yeah, but so they were like, but they were very, very supportive, and have always been like so in my corner, so helpful, and like I really appreciate having their insights also as like people who have been in the arts for much longer than I have and have like accumulated many years of experience, and so being able to uh, tap into that experience just at home to be like, hey, how does this work? Or, something like that is I'm so grateful for that. It feels like such a blessing, truly.
I think it was your mother I read before on the topic of rejection. She had said in an interview, you've got to keep the delight and surprise in your eyes, which is just such fabulous words to live by. What was it like growing up, seeing your parents collaborate in theater and be celebrated for their work and dedication to their craft?
It was so awesome. I mean, like, I think it was really beautiful watching them collaborate and like how they work together. Because I think it's also cool seeing like, I don't know, going from because when they're your parents, they're just sort of like your parents, and then, but getting to see them then transported into a work professional environment and be so like thoughtful and skilled and just like brilliant at what each of them is doing and the way that they collaborate with each other so well was yeah it was really inspiring to watch and I'm always inspired by my parents. I think their work collectively is really good. I just admire them a lot. And I admire yeah, the thought and the effort, and just like the raw skill that they output. And so it's definitely it inspires me to try and, mimic a fraction of their power. I can. It's yeah, it is really inspiring, I think, and it's so cool to watch them get to work together when they have, and also like how they talk about the work at home too. They always, I think they joke that like working together was the easy part. It was like it was living together that was hard. But obviously they're they've been married a very long time, and they love each other very, very much. I think that was just their running joke of when people, because people would ask them and be like, yeah, like how do you guys, you know, oh, if I had to, work with my partner in the office or something, whatever, and they'd be like, no, like it's great. I don't know. It's we have a great time.
It's so nice to see like that loving partnership and union both like in work and then also at home. Like you've obviously been witness to both sides and you've gotten the chance to work with them as well in theater. Tell me about your own experience on stage. Like obviously this love and the start came from your parents, but what kind of kept you in theater and what has it ultimately taught and given you?
Mm. Okay. I think I love theater. I love theater and film. I love though that they're two sort of very different beasts sometimes, just in the way that like theater is so fun because like once the you do I like that you have a lot of time to like rehearse in theater, which can be really fun because it gives you time to like try things, um and experiment and play a bit, whereas like film you do that mostly like on your own time unless you have like a table read or a specific rehearsal for a scene or an episode or a film, but and then when you actually are doing it, it's like time is money on set, and so it's like you don't necessarily have as much freedom to be like, oh, I'd like to try like four different things, and then see, sometimes you do, but a lot of the time it feels like the like, all right, we got to go, let's keep it pushing. um yeah, in theater, I think it's so cool because it's like once the train leaves the station, there's no stopping it. It's like it is all live every single night that you're doing the show, and it's different every single time. And so it really keeps you on your toes in a way that you have to be like alert and listening and um just like sort of ready for anything. It is like a bit of an adrenaline rush because, something could go terribly wrong and then you have to figure out how, there's no cut. You just have to adapt and like, I mean, yeah, so if there is, something like a sandbag falls from the sky and is like a safety hazard, maybe they'll stop the show. But, you know, canonically the show must go on. So I love like sort of the way that theater is live every night. It's also really cool to get to experience it chronologically, um, from within, because like in film, obviously you shoot a lot of stuff out of order. And so it's sort of up to you to keep everything sorted in your head of like where are we now in the story? Where is this going? Whereas in theater, you just do it. And then kind of the reverse of that though for film, I like that uh, you're able to experience the thing that you made from the outside, maybe like once whether it's like a premiere or something, or you can all kind of like come together and like collectively appreciate the thing that everyone has put so much hard work into, which is really great. Whereas theater, like you kind of, unless you have like understudies or something, you never really get to see the show from the outside. Um, so, which is also kind of then its own is nice in its own way too, because you're just thinking about it from, the inside of your character. Yeah, so I love that there's these sort of like these differences that make each of them feel like sort of fresh and unique. But I think theater has given me a lot of inspiration, and in terms of having to constantly be sort of ready for anything, and also just like how to I think approach the work sometimes, because like things that I've learned from other actors in the rehearsal room, being like, oh wow, like I want to know how you're doing what you're doing right now because it's really awesome. And like talking to other actors about their process. So I'm really grateful for theater and all the other amazing people that I've worked with in theater for giving me that as well.
It's so interesting to have all these different perspectives. And yeah, with theater, I guess it's like your performance exists in that moment. And that's what people are getting to see and consume as opposed to film. But I'm glad that you have dipped your feet in both kind of early on. So you kind of get to have each complement one another. Which project has been the most pivotal in your career so far, and how would you say it left an impact on you?
Hmm. Well, I guess like I mean I think Heated Rivalry has been like the perhaps the biggest thing that I've been a part of in like my career just because it's, you know, it's kind of taken off in a way that yeah, it's and so but also I don't really know like because we're sort of like in it right now. I can't quite speak to like, oh, this has changed, you know, that I'm so grateful to be part of something that's like so incredible and that everyone has like put such beautiful work and into. Um, like besides Heated Rivalry though, I mean, I really loved shooting. This is a big throwback, but it's the Bruno and Boots series when I was for YTV, and it was based on these b books here, Bruno and Boots by MacDonald Hall series by Gordon Corman, and I'd read those books when I was a kid, and it was sort of like my first like big film job that I had ever gotten, and shout out to Larissa Mayer. Thank you for casting me as Boots. I owe you a lot. And yeah, it was so fun. I think it like was very educational in like sort of teaching me what, you know, what it's like to be on set, how to work on a set, and how everything is functioning, how all the pieces fit together. And also just it was so like everyone on it was so great. It was such a great time, and also like how to have fun as well in the with the work that you're doing, because I think you do absolutely have to enjoy your work as an actor because it comes through. And like I know when I'm watching something, I love when I can tell that the actors are just having a great time doing it. And so I think like keeping that joy that 16-year-old me had, like, you know, having like water balloon fights in a scene or something, and yeah, was and like, yeah, I don't know. You can't bottle it, but you like just try and keep, you have to figure out a way to keep it with you and bring it forward into the rest of your life and career. Yeah, so that was a pretty pivotal one, I think. And Heated Rivalry has also just been so amazing, and I'm so grateful that people have been enjoying the show.
For those who don't know, like YTV is a big Canadian
Oh, yes.
channel. Yeah. And I think as a young actor, it also teaches you like your capabilities as an artist, like in a leading role, like your endurance and all about that stuff, especially early on when you haven't, you know, had that experience prior. We will get into Heated Rivalry now, and I love how you said it's still ongoing because it's only been out for a bit over a month now officially, and obviously the season two renewal. So the ceiling has not been reached yet. But for all those watching, we are discussing spoilers for Heated Rivalry, the series, as well as the books Heated Rivalry and the Long Game by Rachel Reid. So please make sure you have watched and read before continuing this interview. What can you share about your audition process and what drew you to wanting to be a part of this project?
Yeah, I mean, I got an audition for it. It was actually for a different character. I tried to find it in my inbox because I couldn't remember who the original character that I auditioned for was because it was quite a while ago now. Um, but yeah, it was for a different character. And so then I did the tape. I think my dad read for me actually. And then um, I got a call back from Jacob for Hayden, which we did on Zoom. And like I was a big fan of his. Like I really loved like Letterkenny. Uh, and so yeah, I was excited um, at the prospect of working with this like amazing Canadian director. And so yeah, we like met on Zoom and we chatted, we did the callback and he was great. Like truly such an amazing guy. So so grateful for him. And yeah, and then I think I was in Edmonton doing a play like a couple of months later, and I think I got like an Instagram DM from him just saying like, "Hey buddy, you're my Hayden," and I was like, "What? Really? Oh, yeah, amazing! Thank you. I was so psyched." And like, yeah, it was so cool, and so it was. I was really looking forward to it. So I went out. I remember I tried to find a copy of the book so that I could read it. And I like searched like two different bookstores and I couldn't find what I remember asking like this couple who owned the bookstore and they were like, "Oh yeah, I think we had it, but it just like sold out or something." And then I was like, "Oh man." So I was like searching around trying to find a copy of the book. But yeah, it was like a really great audition process. Jacob was so lovely and it was a great time.
I love that instead of it coming through your agent that you got the part, it came from Jacob directly on Instagram, which
I
I feel is just
know.
like such a modern way of connecting nowadays. But it's so nice that you were able to meet him so early on in the process. Do you remember what audition scene you had to read for Hayden?
It was I think part of it, what was it? Oh, uh one of them was the one in the parking lot where I tell Shane that Jackie is pregnant and then yell after the girls as I'm Hayden as being a bad dad and letting them run around in a parking lot. But that was one of them. And then I think there was one other one. It may have been his first scene, like the asking Shane if he wants to come over. I think it was that. It was because there I remember saying like in I think it didn't make the final cut for the script, but there was like he was really excited because he was gonna get to like Shane was gonna sleep over and then they were gonna like play video games all night and it was gonna be super fun. I don't know if that version of the scene ended up making it into the final cut. I don't think it did, but yeah, it was either that first scene or there was another one of the locker room scenes. Those I think were the two audition scenes. Yeah, I think those were the two.
No, the video game didn't make the cut. I think it just would
Yeah.
have added fuel to the fire that his excitement is kind of like, oh, Jackie's excited to cook for you, but really Hayden just wants to hang out with Shane more, I feel.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Hayden Pike, like you mentioned, auditioning for another character initially, what were you told about Hayden? Because at that point in your audition, you hadn't read the books yet, so you were
Mm.
kind of like going off like the character description or what was on the slate or something like that.
Yeah. That I mean he was like a young dad with a big family, lots of kids, and that he, yeah, I mean, and I like I Googled it as well to try and find out as much as I could about the character that you know he's like a little can be a little sarcastic, a little funny, a little goofy sometimes, which I really love. I love when there's like that sort of freedom in a character to be a little goofy sometimes. And yeah, I love Rachel's. writing because I think she writes such like human characters in a way that is not everyone has that ability. And for Jacob's adaptation as well, like the dialogue just feels so natural and it really rolls off the tongue. Um, but yeah, like I think I can't remember the exact breakdown. I don't think they honestly in the audition breakdown there wasn't like a ton of information. It was mostly like that he hockey player has like a lot of kids, slightly can be slightly frazzled, but like warm, uh, kind of fun-loving guy. I think was like the very short little excerpt. Yeah, I wish I could find the original thing. I could give you the exact quote, but I think that's all I remember from the breakdown.
I do want to talk a bit about how you shaped your version of Hayden Pike, but before we get into that, growing up in Canada, what was your familiarity with hockey and the NHL?
Ooh, okay. I mean, I didn't play hockey as a kid. I had a lot of friends who played hockey as a kid, but I remember I think at one point my parents asked me if I wanted to play hockey, and I said no because I would have to wake up at like 5 a.m. on a school day and then go to an arena for like 6:30 and that just sounded horrendous to me. At like, 10 or 11 or whatever, however old I was. And so I was like, no, I'm good. It's fine. I played like pickup games with friends when I was younger. And like I can skate, which is great. I think they don't give you they don't let you leave the hospital when you're born until they put on a pair of skates and you can do a couple laps. So as a Canadian, I can skate. But also the skill gap between like a person who can skate and an NHL hockey player is like, here to the moon. There it is a huge skill gap. And so it was definitely like a learning experience to try and like brush up on my hockey skills. Huge also shout out to the stunt team, all the doubles, the hockey players. They were so good, and honestly, Loki, it was like slightly intimidating how good they were because they were like old, like either like some ex OHL guys, some AAA, really excellent hockey players. And yeah, there was one time we were filming a scene. And it was the one where like Shane is looking up at Rose in the stands and he's waving to her, and then I like skate over to him and say something. And there was like I think it was like the second or third take. I came in way too fast, and I don't know. I stopped in a way that I like did something weird, and I caught a weird edge, and then just immediately like slid out, like smacked the back of my head on the ice. It was like. Oh, it was really funny. It was really funny. Definitely like a slight bruise to the ego because just, all these guys who were excellent hockey players being like, man, this kid doesn't know what he's doing. But no, it was I knew it was gonna happen eventually though, because it like, I'm a good skater, but I had a feeling spending enough time on the ice, eventually I was gonna eat it at least once. So that was a very funny, humbling experience for me for sure.
I was gonna say they were like shaking their head, watch your edges, new guy.
Yeah,
But
no, I know. They were like,
it's nice that you did have some experience on skates because I mean there were brief scenes on ice. Luckily, you didn't have to actually go at it, make a play, score a goal in real time. Which was
yeah.
your favorite team growing up or even now?
Ooh, I mean, growing up, because I didn't really know that much about hockey, but I think when I was pretty little, probably like in the 8 to 10 range, and I would get asked who my favorite team was, I would say the Calgary Flames, but just because they had Cal in their name, and I was like, oh, that's like me. Um, so I think that was like my cop out answer. Like I couldn't name a single player on the team, but they were like, "What's your favorite team?" I'm like, "This one." And also, I think like 8-year-old me was like, "Flames, Flames are so cool." So that was my favorite team. Nowadays, I mean, I like the the Oilers, and I do. You know what? It's I gotta throw some support to the Leafs as well because Toronto. You get little hometown represent there. Well, not hometown, but where I live now. But yeah, probably somewhere around Oilers Leafs area. I know they don't always get along though.
I mean, it's not the Battle of Ontario, so you do have like one to pick from the Alberta and Ontario teams. I think it's really cool. I don't know if you did you have any say in Hayden's number in the show, or was that predetermined?
I think that was predetermined. Yeah, it was they had my jersey when I got there. And yeah, I don't think it was ever something that was uh overly discussed. I think yeah, just in like the initial like fittings, we there were like some jerseys to try on. I can't remember if they had the numbers on them already. But I think I remember just getting the jersey. It felt really cool though. It's kind of nice to like when you're on like a high school sports team and you're like, all right, here's your number. And I was like, nice, okay.
And he does wear an A. He's an alternate captain of the Metros. And
Hmm.
I like that number. Hayden wears number 35. That
35,
is
yep.
a number of a Montreal Canadiens goaltender. I'm not sure if you know that, but it's kind of
No, wait,
cool.
I didn't. Isn't also there is some whose old number is it? Didn't it there's like a oh no.
My
Anyway,
hockey lore doesn't go that far back.
no,
Maybe
no,
like
but it's
my
someone really big, and I remember my girlfriend was I was talking about it with her, and then now I can't remember the name, and it's gonna be really bad because it's gonna be like one of the really big guys whose name it was, and I almost want to Google it because otherwise I'm gonna get crucified for not knowing this. Wait,
You can Google
hockey
it. Today,
35.
it's Samuel Montembeault wears number 35 for Montreal. So
Oh,
you'll leave
cool.
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Wait, okay, maybe not who. No, I'm not sure. Anyway,
If
who
it comes
knows?
back,
It
just
comes
blurt it
back.
out
Let
later.
us know in the comments whose name I'm forgetting. Um, yeah, but that's so cool. Yeah, I didn't even clock that there was. I mean, obviously it makes sense that there would be someone else with that number who's actually on a hockey team,
Yeah,
and
it's nice to have
Montreal as
that
well.
Montreal connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Hayden. So, what specific, you kind of alluded to it, that you Googled and did some research yourself, but when you managed to get your hands on the books, and I'm assuming you read The Long Game as
Mhm.
well, what specific elements did you draw from the source material to bring him to life? And were there any other inspirations drawn from personal experience or fictional characters or even real life hockey players that you studied to get in character?
Yeah, I think like from the books, I really wanted to um, bring out his like sort of sense of like playfulness in a way, which I think is shows up a lot, especially like with Shane and with his kids as well. I think is it Chompy the there's like an alligator who he like does little voices for, which I think is so fun and like very like indicative of like the kind of um, dad and like person he is. And so yeah, like that sort of like uh yeah, that playfulness. I think he is like a little like protective. He loves very, very deeply, whether it's his family or like his friend Shane. I think he is yeah, he's also like he is also a bit at the same time like a hockey dude as well. So there is like that element. Sometimes like he uses language that isn't always like it's like, "Ooh, that's not," but I think it's like also important to have a little bit of like the representation of like, the reality of hockey players in a way. But he's also, I think, sort of the chaotic good version of that a bit. Like he is at the end of the day has like a really big heart and cares very deeply about all the people in his life and is yeah, I just like a I think he's really funny as well. I connected with his character a lot. um, on like I think this we have like similar senses of humor, and yeah, I just wanted to try and bring out the all the fun things that I thought were so great about his character and try and convey them in a way that felt like close to me in a way like because it's just like when you get sides especially in film you're like okay how would I you know say these lines in a way that I believe them and so I think also having the freedom to be playful because he is that kind of guy was really nice as well. I think it opened a lot of doors to trying things and um, yeah, like he he's a little like can be a little like puckish too, which is fun. Yeah, I think I really enjoy him as a character. I'm yeah looking forward to revisiting him as well and seeing what happens.
So well said. He is like a little boyish. He might not be the smartest cookie in every
Yeah.
room, but like you said, he has a lot of love and loyalty within him. We aren't privy to Hayden's childhood and upbringing in the novels. So, did you create a bit of a past or backstory for him yourself, or speak with anyone on the creative team just to give yourself a bit of a grounding point with respect to, like, maybe where his love of hockey came from, his upbringing, and journey to pro hockey, just as a few examples?
Yeah, I did like create sort of for myself like a backstory for Hayden. I'm slightly hesitant to like go into it too much just because like I mean I honestly it's a brilliant idea. I should have just asked Rachel, be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" But because I only met her like part way into to filming, I didn't really have like a chance to do that. So I sort of just created like little things for myself. Though also like I don't want to like go into like too much detail just because I don't know. I feel like Rachel could be like, no, that's not it. And then people be like, oh, well, the actor who plays Hayden says that this was the way. And it's like, no, she wrote the books. I don't, that's, listen to her. But just like as an actor for the process of it, I think having like an idea of at least for you where just so it can like live internally of what your background is, like where you came from, was really helpful. I think, yeah, I mean, what I will say, I think like he, I think he did have to work pretty hard because he doesn't necessarily have, he is not like a Shane Hollander in the way that he is like this, um, God tier hockey player. But he works really hard, I think, for what he has, and he's like. Uh, out to like support his team in a way that he finds his niche and like what he can do and I think he kind of had to I don't know. I mean it's weird it's weird to say like work your way up because everyone has to work their way up, and like to be in the NHL. That's like, and even to be in the NHL, he has to be a great hockey player, of course. But I think, because like Ilya likes to say he's like Montreal's 15th best player, which I think is really funny. But also, yeah, like I mean, I think there is like truth that he's not like the star player on the team, and I think, but he's figured out how to be the best Hayden on the team, and whether that's like on or off the ice, like supporting his team and being there for his people.
I like that. And I'm not sure, I can't remember if he wears an A in the books, but obviously he does in the show. So there is like that leadership quality there. And I think it's important to think about his backstory. And I know you don't want to share too much, but it's so true that I feel like because maybe he's not as naturally skilled or gifted as like Shane or Ilya, he does have to work his way up. He might have started around the same time as Shane in like the NHL or in the show Major League Hockey. So maybe he's had to learn to play both roles, like defensive and offensive, like penalty kill, like anything, like you mentioned, to give himself a bit of an edge or find that niche. Did you consider the start of his and Jackie's relationship and what connected them? Like, what did he like about her? And was having a young family something he's always wanted to have, or did it come as a bit of a surprise?
Mm. Well, like I think in the books they meet in a club, I think, and it's like Shane who introduces them, which is like different in the show. Like we don't see their initial meeting, um, but I think it's like it's sort of gauging from the books, it's one of those sort of like, why did I just think of like the Lonely Island thing? It's like lock eyes from across the room. It's like I think it was like maybe one of those moments of seeing um, this gorgeous, gorgeous human in the same room as you, and then just being like, hi. Oh my God, we're talking right now, and now we're dancing, and this is crazy. I can't believe this is real life. Wow, I gotta lock you down real quick. Which I think they do. They get married in like a year, I think, after they meet, and so yeah, I think it was like just a quite a fast connection and relationship. Because when you meet your person, and you kind of know, and so. Yeah, I think that was sort of my inspiration for like the origin of their relationship, like the sort of using the what I had from the books. And then um the sorry, what was the rest of the question? I talked so much that I forgot the second half.
No worries. It was, what does he like about her? And was having a young family something on his bingo card, or did it come as a surprise?
Right. I think Hayden and Jackie get along so well because I think they have great sort of banter, and I think Hayden appreciates and recognizes the incredible amount of work that Jackie does, like as a mom for the small army that they have created. Like the amount of uh love and work and time is so incredible. And so I think, and he uh yeah, like they just have like they have a great sort of back and forth, I think, as well in the books. And but they're also very like tender with each other, and you can tell that there's so much love. And I think I think he just looks at her with hard eyes all the time. It's like, but he also can be like a little bit, which we saw like slightly in the show when they're at Hayden's house, and then I think she's like, guys, like, watch the language, and then Hayden's like, sorry. He's a little bit like there's a little like, yes, dear. Because Jackie's got some fire in her, and I think that's also something that he loves about her very much. Yeah, I really love them as a couple. I think their chemistry is great. And I hope that we get to see like more of that dynamic in season two. Oh, and the family thing. I actually yes, right. I think yes, I think they knew that they wanted to be um, young parents, whether or not they had talked about and like planned it specifically. Because obviously, like some of the children were perhaps not like they weren't actively gunning for them. But the yeah, I think when they initially like were having kids, I think they did, like the idea, uh, and also like because it is sort of a reality for a lot of young like sports athletes, or that when you're signing this contract where you're making like kind of a silly amount of money, to do this great thing that you love doing, then you like are like, wow, great. Like we're kind of set. We can just have a family now and not like, you know, this is perfect. I'm not worried about how scary the economy is, and the it's like it gives you the freedom, I think, to do that. And yeah, like it's I think it's and also like I think they really enjoy being young parents as well. Like there's like a fun thing that comes with being a young parent.
It definitely can change the timeline as well, but I mean, a special word to like the woman, especially in like professional sports, male sports lives, because I mean, they're the ones who obviously are staying with the children as well after they're born while the men travel. And so I really love their relationship as well. And I was gonna say like she offers that groundedness to
Hmm.
Hayden. Tell me about working opposite Kamilla Kowal. I know we don't get too much dialogue between the two of you in the show, but how was that first meeting and your interactions, knowing that you would maybe get a chance to explore their story more in a second season, like we do in the books?
Camilla was so amazing. We only had one day on set together, but she's so lovely. I was like a big fan of her work also in Letterkenny as well. And so it was so great to meet her. And yeah, like it was really fun working with her as well when we like shot the living room stuff and the dinner sequences. I actually recently I found some pictures I had on my phone of her sitting at the table, holding a little baby, and when we were doing the dinner stuff, and I totally forgot I had them on my phone, so I sent them to her, and yeah, they were it was such a great time. She was so lovely. And we had no idea though if we were gonna do like a season two or not, because it was just, not even in the realm of like what we were thinking about at the time. But yeah, I'm so excited to get to potentially like explore and like get to know them and their relationship, being Jackie and Hayden together, and work with Camilla more because she was so fantastic. It was such a fun day on set.
Hayden is Shane's closest friend and longtime teammate in Montreal. In your eyes, what is the basis of their friendship and how it extends off the ice? Like, did you think about how it developed?
Yeah, I think like because so much time passes in the show, right? Because it's like 8 years. Um, and so, I also think like being on a team with somebody is so like that in itself will bring you very close and like develop a specific type of bond. Um, and but I think like I like how in the show it's sort of like Shane is it feels like Hayden reaches out in a way to almost like he feels almost like the new kid in class a bit. And so I love that, and I think it's like it is kind of super Hayden to be the kid who's like, hey, like, do you want to come to my house after school and play video games and like hang out? Which I think that's sort of like that's like the childlike essence that sometimes Hayden has, which is really nice. And yeah, I think just being that person to make that reach was really nice, especially like, when you are the new kid or feeling like you are outside of the circle in a way, which is so much of I feel like, Shane's story is feeling, like he is different, or not, or ha is outside of the circle looking in, and so it was. I think like just having that relationship and like having that one friendly face to be uh to feel like you belong somewhere, like to have a home that you can, that isn't yours, but is in the way that you can just walk through the door and yell hello, and then be greeted with hugs and smiles um, yeah. And so I think I think Shane is like feels like Hayden's brother in a way. He's like this friendship that is really beautiful, and I think they get along too, because also, like, Hayden is a busy guy with his family, and I think he really also appreciates having someone that he can hang out with on the team that is not like I don't know, that he can like go to the aquarium, or like the biodome with, and like who will go on outings with his kids, or go on a outing even when he's like, I need to get out of the house, Shane, help. But yeah, I really do. I think their friendship is really, really sweet. And it's great. It makes me smile, and I can't wait to see hopefully more of it in the future.
They are roommates on the road, and I think you really get to know one another when you're spending all that time together.
Yeah.
And we see in the show they keep each other accountable in morning runs in the summer. Now, there's been a lot of discourse on Hayden's feelings for Shane in the books, and if it's purely a brotherhood, platonic love, or if there was something more there that didn't get explored. Some of the looks and glances that you gave Hudson as Shane in the show didn't temper those. So, based on your understanding of the character thus far, what are your thoughts on Hayden's feelings for Shane and how he sees him in his life?
Mm. Um, I think I think Hayden loves Shane. I think he truly does. I think he's perhaps the uh, closest male friend that he has. And I think that, like I don't want to delve too much into like speculation in terms of like Hayden's, because yeah, like I've seen some discourse on like Hayden's sexuality, or like his feelings for Shane, but I think um it is love in like its purest form. It's he cares deeply about him, and there like I think I will leave it up to like the reader or the watcher, your interpretation of what is said about their relationship and inner monologue or inner dialogue in the books, and what you see in the show, because I think art is always open for interpretation, and uh I could say absolutely yes or absolutely no, and there would absolutely still be someone else who is like, no way, it's definitely, and so I'm not going to take that away from anybody. I think that it's absolutely your own interpretation of what you want to see in their friendship. But I do think that it is he does view him as like his brother in a way, and I think there is like a very pure love for each other. It's like in when there's like some repartee with like Ilya in like the second book. It's like they have him and Hayden and Ilya are they both care so deeply about Shane, like in different ways, but like there's this love that like they have to sort of put aside their own feelings about each other for the sake of this person that they love so much. So there is love, and I would leave it open to interpretation how the viewer or reader would like to interpret that love.
Like you said, art is subjective, and I think love like you alluded to, comes in all different forms. Like it's this brotherhood, it's this admiration of Shane as a hockey player. He feels protective over him. I saw a comment online, and I know some people were curious though, like, were you given any specific direction during your scenes together, like with respect to how Hayden looked at Shane, or was it all kind of like, did it come naturally?
Um, no, there wasn't really specific. Well, I mean, well, like there was a lot of great specific direction from Jacob because he's a genius and a fantastic director. But in terms of like some like the looks specifically, um, I think it came naturally, and it's like because there is like in the books there is like some reference obviously like Shane and Hudson, gorgeous man, just like objectively beautiful creature, and like there is reference to Shane, sorry, not Shane, Hayden, like saying that in the books and being like, yeah, like if you were a girl, obviously I would I'd be all over you, man. But I think there's like I don't know. There's like a difference between um like actively being like attracted to someone versus uh being like, wow, oh my God, the homie is beautiful. Like I'm so happy for you. And like, in a or just like seeing your friend uh and just be like that's my buddy. Like there's I think yeah, so I don't know. The looks I think are of love and admiration and of just like yeah, it's like it's nice to have a friend who you like and also like you do notice like I think that if someone is attractive that you're like hey yeah good for you, man. I think they talk about it in the books too, and like he's like yeah, anyway, they're little cutie patooties, both of them.
I like that, Hayden's not shy about sharing his thoughts on that too, though. Like he is there to support Shane 100%. In your eyes, what did he speculate with respect to Shane texting Lily from Boston and his frequent distractions? Because he is privy to a lot of that, in the show, whether it's in the hotel or in the locker room. Did he ever draw any connections between Shane and his focus on Ilya, or was it purely seen as like competitive or a coincidence in nature?
I think I don't think Hayden suspects that Boston Lily is Ilya. At least at this point in the story. I think it just is such an unfathomable thing for Hayden that he would like this guy that both him and Shane have talked about being like the worst. I think it's just so outside the realm of possibility. Um, but I think like yeah, he is there is like a slight like in in the hotel room scene where I think Hayden is like, why are you being so weird about this, man? Like, just, I don't care. I'm here. Like, do your thing. Actually, it'd be great if you could like leave for a bit, because I haven't seen my wife in like a month. Anyway, yeah. And so, I don't know. Like, there's not, I don't think there is like any suspecting of Ilya specifically. I think he's just like he again because like you said, Hayden's not necessarily like um he's not a detective really. He's kind of just just vibes and yeah, he's happy for Shane to have like a friend, a quote unquote a buddy that he's going to go see. But I don't think there's any suspicion that it is anything other than that.
In the show, I know Hayden's like, I don't want the details, but at the same time, I feel like he wouldn't be mad if Shane divulged what was going on in his personal life. I'm sure Hayden would love to be that listening ear. Which was your favorite scene to film and why?
Ooh, my favorite scene to film, okay, well, there's a couple. I really liked the the like biodome sequence, that like the aquarium. Uh that was really fun to shoot. Also because the cutest little baby that I've ever gotten to hold. Well, yes. Anyway, amazing scene partner. Hudson's great, but that little baby. I mean, you know. Um, and yeah, it was also just like it's a really nice scene, despite Hayden being like slightly crass in his line of questioning. But I think it is that it was a really fun. It's that like linked with the parking lot scene as well. Was really fun to shoot. And I also I really liked this was like not even really like a dialogue scene, but it was pretty objectively fun to shoot the when we won the cup and we're all like spraying champagne and everything because that was crazy. They basically just gave everyone like a bottle of champagne and then said, "Go crazy, go insane." And so like the amount of screaming and like raw energy that I felt like we put out and exuded was so high that after everything was done, it felt like we just ran a marathon. It was like, oh my God. And everyone was so we were like all sticky and like covered in this like in champagne. I was honestly worried because I thought I had to drive myself back after set. And I'm like, if I get pulled over, I'm going to jail. Like this cop is gonna roll down the window and be like, "This guy is wasted. Get out of the step out of the car, sir." And like, what am I gonna say? Like, no, we were just spraying champagne in a locker. We weren't actually, and it was non-alcoholic too. But like, anyway, yeah. So that was really fun to shoot. Just like the pure energy, um, and the vibes were great.
I love the biodome scene, and I think it's funny that you mentioned, it's like Hudson's a great scene partner, but the cutest scene partner was the baby, and that was baby Marnie, who I saw
Yes,
on Instagram is related to your producer,
yes,
Brendan. So
yes.
it was so nice to kind of have that little connection there. And the cup celebration, I imagine like there's just so much like camaraderie in that space, and you also got to like do the cup kind of picture or footage as well. So there's nothing like bringing a team together, something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so cool to get to like actually hold the cup when we shot that because I didn't think that was gonna happen. I was like, that's not it's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be Hayden. But then it was for a minute and it was super fun. Honestly, the thing was heavy. I was scared I was gonna like tip over backwards. But yeah, it was so great.
I think that's happened in real life. I think it was someone, was it maybe in Florida?
Oh, really?
They dropped the cup when they were
No.
parading around with it on the ice after. I think it might have dented it a little. I think it might be fixed now, but that definitely has happened before. But
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
loved the locker room scenes with all of you. And, there's that little bit where Hayden was being the mock reporter in
Oh yeah.
episode 2 in the animated voice, which I thought, added a bit to your character as well. You work primarily opposite Hudson Williams in the first season. So, what can you say about Hudson as a person and a scene partner and what he brought to his character?
Hudson is so great. He's such an amazing human. Yeah, when we met, it was just like it was just great. We were like we were chatting. He's so lovely, he's so personable. He's so good at what he does too. And like the work that he and like 'cause a lot of the stuff, right? Like I read in the scripts, but I hadn't seen until I watched the show. And he's just so good. They're both so good. Both him and Connor are so incredible. But um, because we're talking about Hudson, he's also so funny. He's truly one of the funniest people I know. Um, and yeah, like it's just he's just fantastic. He was truly such a joy working with him, and we had a great time, and it was great. Like I felt like we had like we could play off each other really well for scenes, and yeah, it was very easy playing his friend because he's such just a fantastic guy.
Which was your favorite scene in season one and why as a viewer?
Oh, my favorite scene would either be it's probably in episode five, either either just the end of episode five, like that amazing sequence with like the Wolf Parade song, and because that's been on repeat. It's so good. The music in the show, I'm like it's so good. And just that last sequence, I was, who, you know, who made the screen blurry? It was so like emotionally really pulled at the heartstrings. And so that was such an amazing sequence. Also, Connor's Russian monologue is such a great scene as well. And his skill with language is I'm just in awe. Truly so talented, and that scene was so beautiful. I think it would be either one of those two sequences were my favorite.
Were there ever any discussions or plans to film the book short story, My Dinner with Hayden, and the beginnings of the rivalry, or I should say frenemy relationship between Hayden and Ilya?
Yeah, they're actually I was chatting with uh Jacob and Rachel on set one day, and they had mentioned it, and I think the Jacob had initially wanted to do it as like a I don't know, I don't want to speak for him, and just from what I'm vaguely remembering from the conversation, I think he had like either wanted to or considered doing it as like part of season one, but then there wasn't like enough time. And it didn't, I don't know if it like quite fit into the overall narrative as neatly. And I think that's honestly the I think it was the right call. I love the short story so much, and I hope that we do because it's so fun, and it like is the such a funny scene, and like the back and forth is so great. But like I think yeah, like looking back at season one, I don't think there's like a thing I would change or do differently, because it's such a gorgeous story that Jacob is telling, and Brandon and Rachel and everyone truly. But yeah, if there is an opportunity to do it, I would absolutely love to. I think it's so fun. Yeah, and would welcome the opportunity to do My Dinner with Hayden.
I mean, if they filmed it as a gift in between the seasons, I don't think anyone would be mad about that, but all faith in the creative team.
You know what? That is a great thought. I hadn't even considered that as like a little, you know, a little special. Very, you know, hey, Jacob, you're watching it, maybe. But no, I think that's awesome. Yeah, would happily in wherever it fits. If it does fit in the either season two or between or beyond, that would be super fun to do.
And on that note of the second season, I mean, congratulations on the renewal. In the long game, again, we're talking spoilers here, so be warned. We know that Hayden, his children, and fan mail play a pivotal part in Shane and Ilya's story. Do you have any hopes or expectations with your character, knowing that there was some deviation from the source material in season one?
Yeah, I mean, like I genuinely, I try to exist without expectations for most things. I find that just results in a happier life for the majority of the time. Um, So like I don't have expectations by any means. I have complete trust in Jacob, Brendan, Rachel, the creative team to like that they will artfully craft a beautiful season two, whatever it looks like. Um, like I would love to absolutely play out some of the like the events that happen in Long Game. I think it creates there's a lot of drama, a lot of banter as well, which I think would be really fun. Some fights. I'm like not for my character, but I'm kind of looking forward to like the Ilya therapy scenes because I think those are really excellent scenes, and I can't wait to see what Connor does with that because I think they'd be awesome. Um, but in terms of like my character, again, I don't overly want to spoil anything, but also it's I've seen it like commented and like, the what happens in the second book for a lot of people is they already know because they've read the book. So like I don't know, like I'm hesitant to say it outright, but just in case like people watch who haven't read the book. Anyway, there is a thing that happens in season two that it does cause some drama with Hayden, Shane, Ilya, and like the team that is kind of my fault. Not kind of, it is my fault. Um, or Hayden's fault. Not me shifting blame to my character, but. Yeah, I think it would be. I would love to have that be one of the plot points of the season. I think it does generate a lot of conflict, and I think like you can have a great story where everything just goes right all the time. So yeah, no expectations at all, but it would be super fun to explore that book for the second season.
I know
Also,
you
and who
don't.
knows? I might get recast. Jacob might be like, "Yeah, he was fine. He was fine. We actually we're gonna go in a different direction." Who knows? They'll be like, "Actually, Hayden died in a car crash right after season one, so he won't be returning." No, knock on wood. Yes, but
Creative choices, creative choices.
creative choices, and you know what? If it's for the good of the story, then I understand completely. So don't feel bad if you have to kill me off. I get it.
We need happy endings for everyone here. This is
Yes,
like a show that people want to watch and feel happy about eventually.
yes.
But I know you don't want to say, we won't say exactly what happens, but obviously there is someone named Brad involved. I feel like it's such a key part of, the long game that we have to see it adapted. So I'm hopeful that we'll get to see more Hayden, Jackie, and their family, and maybe some constant kids cast
Yeah.
because I know there was some people commenting that you're yelling into air at
Yeah,
your
my
girls.
little
So
ghost children.
how was that to kind of film? Because it didn't seem like there were always kids around.
It's true. They were not yeah, we just had baby Marnie and then yeah, like older baby Marnie for like some of the dinner scenes. And then oh sorry, not older baby Marnie for the dinner scenes. It would be this is the thing. I think this is also because the kids weren't there. Even myself and Jacob, I'd be like, wait, okay, wait, how many kids do I have at this point in the story? Like when we're shooting this, is it one? Are we at two now? And so that was like, it kept me on my toes for sure because again, it's like the thing with film of like you have to keep the chronologic nature of the story like in your head as you're doing it. Um, and so we were like, it was not having real live children, I think, but it was also it was a brilliant choice too, though, because yes, they are little spectral kids running around, but I think it kind of works really nicely. And it was like, I don't know. There's something funny about just like your kids being so. like active and so full of energy that they're literally always like 100 steps, not 100, but like 10 steps ahead of you and out of frame because I think that's like kind of an embodiment of like Hayden's character too. He's always like running after his kids and they're always they're always a few steps ahead of him. So I thought that was really like, and the choice was like executed, I think, really well too. But it was funny during the shooting to be like, wait, okay. It was like the moment where Hayden's like, do I have all the kids? Like, do we have all the kids? Do we know where all the kids are at this point in the story? But it was really, really funny. Yeah.
Now, while hockey as a sport has become more inclusive in recent years with the advocacy and voices of current and former players like Luke Prokop and Brock McGillis, there's still a long way to go. How do you hope heated rivalry and Shane
Wow,
and
sorry. I
Ilias?
just spilled water all over myself. That's crazy. I thought there was like a sip left in it, and that was full.
I'm
You're
gonna
asking such a
repeat the
good question,
question.
and I'm just being a
That's okay.
monster.
Do
Anyway,
you want
okay,
me to
sorry.
repeat the question? I'll repeat the
No, no, no.
question
Keep
then.
it in. Keep it in. Keep it
Okay.
in for the people.
How do
Um,
you hope the heated rivalry and Shane and Ilya's story will inspire more conversations?
Great question. Thank you. I No, truly, I think like their story is so beautiful. It really is. It's like, I just hope that like it creates a space for people to feel seen and represented. That like there is someone out there. There are enough people out there who are going through the same thing that you are, that they made a TV show about it, like to because I think especially with like the so much of the themes of the show being feeling othered or not able to um like be your true self and having to hide in this way, that um being able to be represented to the point where you can see that like you're not alone, and it's like it is living proof of that, and I think that's so important because like even if it's just seeing someone who looks like you on television or who is going through the same struggles as you are, to just feel that you do not have to, you're not the only person in the world who is bearing this weight of this thing that you're dealing with. And I think being freed from that is such a positive thing. And so yeah, like I really hope it does. And the attention that the show has gotten has been fantastic. I truly hope that it does open doors for if not for more people to like whether it's in the NHL or other areas in sports like this, to come out and to embrace themselves fully, to at least know that like that they are seen, that yeah, because it's true. Like the NHL has come a long way. A lot of like the world has come a long way, but also at the same time, it's not where it should be. Especially with what's happening in the United States right now. Like I don't want to get too like political, but I mean, I think it's abhorrent what the administration down there is doing. And yeah, I again, I won't get into it too much, but at this time in the world that we are living in, I think it's so important to truly stand up and say, this is what we believe in. This is what we stand for, and that everyone should be loved and accepted, regardless of who they choose to love or who they are, and to even discriminate based on that in the first place seems like such a ridiculous choice to make. And I know like not ridiculous in the way that like I don't want to trivialize it because it's not at all trivial, but yeah, just I think I hope the show helps to bring more love into the world and to beat back the hate a little bit because you know it feels like hate has been taking a lot of steps forward recently, and I'm so honored to be part of something that feels like it is standing up against it.
I appreciate you sharing all of that, and we could all use a little bit more love and light in this world. So I'm so happy for you and the team. Since release, what have you seen online, and what has the fan support meant to you?
Oh my God, it's been incredible. Like truly the outpouring of support and like you know, because I was it's so tricky when you're like, especially when it's like a book series and like people, there's a fan base already who loves the book so much. Like it's a little scary to then try and turn that into like a film or a show or like to bring a character from a book to life. Because like people can be really mean and like be like, this isn't at all what this is, he's a terrible job. Totally, whatever, just, you know, and so the fact that all of the things that I've seen and the amazing like comments that I've gotten and the feedback has been so overwhelmingly positive. Truly means so much. It's like I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that people are being nice, which is so nice to have happen. It is nice when people are nice. But yeah, and it just it's so amazing. I'm so glad that people have been enjoying the show, and enjoying. Sorry, I had a fuzz on my laptop. Enjoying like the work that I've been doing is such it's I'm so glad to hear. And yeah, it truly means the world. I'm so honored to be a part of it, and I'm so glad that people have been enjoying it.
How have you been navigating all of the online attention? Like, has any of it been overwhelming in any sense? Have you seen a lot of the TikTok edits, comments on X or Instagram?
I have seen a couple yes, a few like edits and like some of the commentary. Like I feel like I can't even say it's overwhelming because of like what I'm sure like Hudson and Connor are both experiencing right now, which is like whatever I'm experiencing to the power of like 100, you know, it like just truly yeah, like I was chatting with Hudson the other day. But like it's yeah, it's like it's fantastic though, because I mean it is what like the goal of telling stories is to have them resonate with people and to see the such an amazing response is really fantastic. I'm you know like it's only overwhelming I guess in the fact that it's sometimes odd to fully think about like being perceived so much, but even though that is literally like what so much of my job is to be perceived, but like um yeah, it's there is just something slightly not daunting is the wrong word, but just like to have like that many people um like know who you are and like have an opinion about you is kind of crazy. But I'm again I'm so grateful that it's been like overwhelmingly positive. And yeah, it truly does. It means the world. It's yeah, I'm really grateful. I feel blessed. And yeah, it's just it feels like it's a lot of good vibes and a lot of love. And a lot of really fun. There's some really funny jokes out there too. The folks on Twitter and Instagram, you guys are very funny. There's a lot of some quality content out there. So thank you guys for putting that out into the world.
It's nice to see you embracing all of it. As we round things out here, tell me about your idea to join Cameo. We obviously know the tie into the books, but what requests have you been getting and what spurred the initial idea?
Um, okay, so yeah, like it because there is like a Cameo-esque website in the long game, which is sort of pivotal to the plot. I thought it would be funny just because I like Cameo reached out to me. They sent me a DM asking me if I wanted to join. And initially like wasn't sure if I wanted to just because like I don't know. I couldn't imagine that people would even like want to do that like want a video to I'm like you want to what? I don't know. It just felt like such a crazy concept. But then I thought, I don't know, like just because it is like a tie-in to the second book, I thought it would be funny. And so I kind of wanted to like, gauge interest if that would be something that like people would even be interested in. And the response also was like again overwhelmingly positive. Even like Rachel replied to like I made like a little story about it. Where I just saw it like posted a not the actual message but Cameo sending me a DM and then uh, Rachel messaged me and was like, "You have to do it." And so with her blessing, I thought it would be a fun thing to try, and it's been amazing. I thought genuinely, I thought I was gonna get like three requests, and then that it would just be like a fun, little thing. But it's been amazing. It's been really fun too, just like chatting with people. It's been really cool, like getting to connect with fans and just people who've watched the show that way as well. Um, and obviously, as you can tell, I do love to yap. So, give me a prompt and see you in 10 minutes. Um, but yeah, it really has been super fun. Like I had to turn them off honestly, or like limit them just because I was getting like I was getting slightly overwhelmed with the number of requests, and also because I was like it was like the holidays. I didn't have like a ton of free time, and so I didn't want to like take all these requests and not be able to do them. I might reopen it soon. I've honestly still got a couple. I'm trying to just like work through the list and get them all done because I truly have been having a great time doing them. And it's so nice to hear like, it feels like another way to actively bring some light and like some joy to people. Like because some of the responses that I've gotten have been so nice and lovely. And so, if it's something that y'all want and enjoy, I enjoy doing it. So I will happily uh, keep on doing it because it has been really fun.
I love how you said you thought you'd get three before. I feel like you're really underestimating the power of this fandom, but I saw there were a couple that people did posts that you did, and you were roasting Ilya while in character as Hayden.
Oh
So it
yeah.
must kind of be fun to act that out and think that maybe I'll get to do more of this on screen in season two.
Yeah, I mean like the honestly the roast ones I'm always like a little like nervy about. I think just because I'm like I don't know. I feel like it doesn't necessarily come as like naturally to me and um but I think it is really fun. And it's also just hard though because like both like Hudson and Connor are so lovely and I know I'm obviously like roasting just their characters and whatnot. But yeah, it was they were all really fun though. It was like it's great. I feel it feels really fun to be able to connect with the fans in that way.
Just a little bit of practice for the future, but I know
There's a
people are
little
really
improv.
enjoying it. And I said this before, but I think it's top tier marketing. I have one more question for you, our signature question. If you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Ooh, I think I would be mint chocolate chip. And I think. Well, one, it's like my favorite ice cream flavor. So that partially, but also I think, because it's not um it's somewhere in between. It's not vanilla, it's not chocolate, it's not blueberry. It's just like it's savory, but it's got a little kick to it. It's a little fun. Yeah, it's a little playful. It feels like a sort of an impish flavor, if you will. So yeah, and also I just love it. Mint chocolate chip ice cream is the best.
Great answer. I like it. And such a nice way to end things out. Callan, it's been so nice to chat with you about your time working on Heated Rivalry. I really appreciate it. And I hope we get to reconnect in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been so lovely chatting with you too. This has been so fun. Yeah, it's truly thank you for your time. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your year. And I absolutely hope we get to chat again soon.
My pleasure. For all those watching, make sure to catch Callan as Hayden Pike in Heated Rivalry. Season 1 is out now on Crave and HBO Max. And we will see you next time.
See you next time.